What's going on? How's the audio? What's up, Andrew? Audio's good. I know the light's bad. It won't be bad for long, though. I also know that I said I quit smoking cigarettes, but I have not yet. It is an ongoing battle. Big Riggins in the house. What's going on, Big Riggin? I don't got a whole lot going on right now. I just got this fire I'm trying to get started. I've never in the life of me had so much trouble starting a fire. For some reason, I couldn't get, I went through all the proper procedures. I look like I'm coming in from an undisclosed location. It's not working. Bear with me, folks. Use a lighter. That's a good suggestion, Andrew. I did. Let me get this thing going. What's going on, everybody? I'll play you guys a little bit of music while I'm trying to get this fire started. I'm just going right into it. I have no idea.
Watch this short video to get 30 minutes of uninterrupted listening.
What? It's not cool. Can't do that. What's up, Iron? I'm going to play some Spotify. It's not Spotify. It's some other faceless corporation. I don't know. An ad for Pampers comes up. I'll shop for Pampers.
Thanks for watching. Click here for more information. Now, enjoy the next 30 minutes of ad-free music.
Enjoy some Infamous String Dusters while I get this fire going.
Show me how you do that trick. The one that makes me scream, she said. The one that makes me laugh, she said. And threw her arms around my neck. Show me how you do it. And I promise that I'll run away with you. I'll run away with you. Spinning on that dizzy edge, I kissed her face, I kissed her head, and dreamed of all the different ways I had to make her go. Why are you so far away? She said, why don't you ever know that I'm in love with you? That I'm in love with you. You, soft and lonely, you, lost and lonely, you, strange as angels, dancing in the deepest oceans, twisting in the water, you're just like a dream. You're just like a dream. daylight licked me into shape. I must have been asleep for days and moving lips to breathe her name. I opened up my eyes and found myself alone, alone, alone above a raging sea that stole the only girl I loved and drowned her deep inside of me. You, soft and lonely, you, lost and lonely, you, just like heaven. Soft and lonely, you, lost and lonely, you, just like heaven.
What's going on, everybody? How are you guys doing tonight? We're having a little bit of fun. This is actually, how's the audio's good? Light's good? It's not nearly as bad as I thought it would be out here. Listen, so this worked out pretty well. AV is good. Fantastic night. Absolutely. So I've been thinking a lot about the duality of man and God's plan and how everything's planned out. And something that came in that made me start to realize it, and you guys should check it out if you haven't, Chuck Missler. Chuck Missler's Electric Universe. It is awesome. It explains things. It asks questions. From what I gathered, it asks questions and it states facts that can't be explained by what we have for modern science, right? So, like all of the planets have a corresponding planet that's almost like a sister planet, right? And that rotates and is on the same axis as Earth. Like Mars does that with us, I believe. It's wild. Like, why? So it's like it talks about the fact that nothing in the Earth is random because one thing has logic behind it, because one thing has logos behind it. All things have logos behind it. And that's when you start to realize that it's all part of a plan. When you start to realize that it's all part of a plan, you can take everything that is not only around us, because if you look at us as avatars living on a playing field, because that's what we are. You know, it says it right in the book of Revelation that all of existence, all of God's creation is as flat as a map and can be rolled up like a scroll, rolled up like a scroll, folded up like a map and put in your pocket. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm a theologian. How's the audio on my voice? Everything's good? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm a theologian, but that's very interesting when you start to think about like all the scientists now who aren't even religious people. And a lot of things in the electric universe theory are backed up by science, little s science, and people that are even considered big s science, you know what I mean? And they're proving things now so they've proven through quantum mechanics and quantum physics and everything like that all of existence is finite, that it all has an edge, also, and if you think about it like that, so there is an end. There is an end to everything. If you believe that the universe is constantly going out and constantly getting bigger, then it doesn't provide for the beginning and the end, right? So there is a finite parameter that all of existence is on, right? Conversely, you'd think that you could take a piece of rope and cut it in half, and then you have a piece of rope. So you take that rope and you cut it in half. In theory, what most people would think is that you can infinitely get half and half and half because matter is neither created nor destroyed. Let me throw some wood on here real quick. I was afraid of whether this wood was going to be dry enough, so I always like to put the next logs of wood up on the top of the stones to make sure that everything's dry, good and dry, because I did my best to keep this pile of wood over here covered. If you were to take a look over at this, underneath these tarps, there's a big giant pile of wood. And I've been trying to burn it off. I try to keep it covered as much as I can, but it's been so rainy, I haven't been able to get out here much and have fires like I want to. But okay, so back to my point about matter is neither created nor destroyed, right? But you think that you can continually break that piece of rope in half and half and half and half, and they'll reach a point in time where it won't be, you'll come into logistical problems where you'd have to find a blade that could cut it, and being able to hold it would just be impossible. But they've realized through mathematics, through quantum physics and everything like that, it's been proven that there actually is a spot where it cannot get smaller. So that piece of matter that you're talking about, you can always get divided in half and still have matter. There comes down to a point in time where they've realized that it gets finitely small too. What does that mean? That means that there's a beginning and an end. There's a big and a small. There's a finite. Things can't get infinitely bigger, and they can't get infinitely smaller. It's just the actual opposite. There's a parameter to everything in all of existence. And there's also a point in time where things can't get smaller, and no one knows why, but we all know why, but we just, for some reason, people refuse to admit it, or they refuse to accept it. Anything with a half-life will never fully disappear. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go through the chat here and see what's going on. Like I said, Big Riggin, Inspector, Iron Bear. So when she came out, she was Beers and Bears lives on. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the kind of conversations, these fireside chats. This is what this was all about. This is what being in the bear community is all about from the beginning. Is we might disagree about things, at least the way I took it. We might disagree about things, but at least we always understand that we're always coming from a point of not lying. And I might be wrong, but I'm not lying is a pretty easy, it's really pretty easy to get behind. I have 6 people watching right now. Molten metal cannot hold. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so to your point, that's a good way. That's a good way that I can talk about. So all metal has different temperatures in which it's critical, and it anneals, and it changes its molecular properties, right? So if you know about annealing, anytime that you are going to rework a piece of steel that's used, you want to anneal it first because it takes all the work stress out of it, because steel gets stress in it from work. I'm actually stepping all over my brother's toes when it comes to talking about steel. But did I say I might be lying, but I'm not wrong? Hey, man, it is what it is. I had a big day. Listen, place that I'm getting now, I went out to it. The needed to have the septa well shocked, but I just did it here, and I figured that I would be able to do it again because it was so easy to do at my place, and I was able to be so successful, like just by doing a little bit of reading, and putting my trust in my own abilities, that are given to me by God. Thank God for that. You know what I mean? But I was able to not destroy my house, and that's part of the thing that you, as a homeowner, don't be afraid. Like, guys, don't be afraid. If you don't own a home, don't be afraid. Don't let a fear of not knowing what you're doing as far as being handy hold you back, because you don't have to be the handiest dude on the face of the earth. You can learn from people. You can be a little bit handy, and you can get a lot of stuff done, and you can save yourself a lot of money. Me and my brother talked about this on our last stream that we did together. We were talking about going to VOTEC schools and stuff like that. I've been thinking about, as the 34-year-old man, going to community college in the evening and trying to, use some of my post 9/11 GI Bill for some education, but to only take building trades or something like that, just something that's going to give me a little bit more, you know what I mean? Because we should always be trying to improve ourselves. Oh, steel thing. So that's when you harden a blade, you have to cool it, and you have to quench it in oil or water, or there's certain air quenching steels, but predominantly knife makers use quenching oil, right? And that's the way you know that it's hot enough. A real good blacksmith or a real good knife maker will be able to look at it just by the look and know that it's at the temperature where it's non-magnetic. But yeah, bringing it back down through that temperature, back down to 800 degrees in less than a second and a half, you know what I mean? That's what actually brings out that hardening. When it's annealed, it takes all that work stress out of it, harden it back, puts a nice cutting edge on. I want to learn plumbing and electric. Plan on building my own house. That's cool. Come correct. What would you do? Would you buy I've oftentimes thought about buying an old farmhouse and just buying it cheap, like one that's kind of messed up, that has a lot of land, and work on it, piece by piece, and have it as a second house and have an actual homestead. I'm actually looking into states now in which my retirement money won't be taxed. Live next door to me. You've never lived next door to me, Andrew. You don't know what could possibly go down. That should be good. Prepared for what? Crazy stuff. Shooting off guns. Yeah, I think we're planning another Pennsylvania meetup. Hopefully, I found out today that I'm 99% sure going to be able to get the days off in August and have another Pennsylvania meetup with our buddy Iron. It's going to be a good time. The lighting is all messed up. I need to keep a ripper going if I want to be seen. I'm broadcasting to you guys live from an undisclosed location. But yeah, so I was talking a little bit about God's plan. Like I did that skydiving thing. It's like we can only wrap our heads around so much when you look at all of existence, because you're not just looking at all the things you see, it's all the things you don't see too. It's all of human consciousness. It's the fact that we all have free will. It's the fact that we live in an existence where, evil has the ability to subvert us and take away from us at any point in time. Just take all the good things and just make them shit. I was watching a thing today about the Joker, the psychology behind the Joker in the Batman movie, the one that was played by Heath Ledger. His greatest weapon, because nobody could touch Batman when it came to the Force, like actual Force. He has a tank car, for God's sakes, But whenever evil was able to get in there and make him question himself as a man, because he knew Batman was just a man, just like everybody else. He has to have a psyche. He has to have a weak point. He got in there to save people. He's a crusader. He's the Caped Crusader. The last thing that he would want to do is have innocent blood on his hands. So he makes him question himself and puts him in an unwinnable situation and turns everything on its head and turns, Gotham's White Knight, Harvey Two-Face Dent, and turns him into, he puts him through so much hell. He throws a little chaos. How does it go? All it takes is a little chaos, and the sanest man can turn the most crazy. Something like that. I can't remember. You know, they never really explain where that character comes from. That character is he's an absolute. That's how Christopher Nolan designed him, was to be an absolute. It's a really good rhetorical tool if you're able to form an argument and lead somebody to believe something, or lead somebody to question their own belief, and then lead them in the direction that you want to. You know, that's a very powerful tool. Think about it. He does it to Commissioner Gordon. You know, think about the interview scene when, you know, the Joker's there in the interview, or in the interrogation chamber. You know what I mean? He's in the police station. They have him in custody, and Batman comes out of the darkness. Right? Batman uses his best friend, darkness, and he comes out and he smacks him around, and he does a lot of bad, violent stuff to him. And what does the Joker do? Does he cower away in fear? He just asks him questions. He just asks him questions and puts the blame solely on him. He leads him down a road of self-doubt. That's what evil does, man. Don't have self-doubt. You know, the overall despair is once you realize it, and I'm just realizing it too. I'm just coming around to this myself. I'm not some genius. I don't know what's going on. But once you realize that there's the despair, that there's things that are feeding on the despair that you have, and that's not the way we're supposed to live. You're not supposed to live your life like what could possibly happen and what could possibly go wrong. And, you know, I have to live in this despair bubble all the time, you know? And that's, you know, that's not, that's not where you want to be. You know, that's not an accurate, realistic picture of what existence and what life is. You know, life can be good stuff. Life can be good things. The frustration deal. Oh, the Faustian deal. You can have all the books all the time in the world, but your glasses are broken, right? So that's the big one when it comes to birth control, women being on birth control. And I'm not a women's expert, because I'm not even a fucking men's expert. I'm trying to figure this all out myself. But you know, you look at it, and you know, you think about it, you know, objectively, you're adding hormones to your body. That can't be good. I can't feel that would be great. You know, so and it robs women of, you know, not having children. It robs families of not having children. I'm all for, and that's the thing, guys. Some of you might think that, man, Mike Bison's, you know, he accused me of whatever, but I believe in investing in the American population. And that includes, you know, parental leave, you know, but definitely maternal leave for sure, paid maternal leave guaranteed. But, I mean, possibly even paid paternal leave for a little bit too, you know. Just, I think it would get people, it would take a little bit of that despair and a little bit of that fear away that people have. And also, I'm not, you know, I'm really torn up about the whole college debt forgiveness. They're never going to do it. But as far as a theory, you know, where do I stand on that issue? Again, the American government is never going to do that in a million fucking years. They're never going to forgive all that debt. But as far as like a thought experiment, where do I stand on that? And I mean, as a guy who didn't get tricked, or was, I don't want to say didn't get tricked, because that doesn't really accurately represent what I did. I answered a calling in a different path that led me in a different direction. But I very easily could have been duped into that had there not been a certain set of circumstances that were presented to me at the time that I made the decision that I made. Does that make sense? A lot of life is being able to empathize with people, you know. But yeah, the Faustian deal. You can have all the books and time in the world. You can have all the faceless, nameless sex you want. You know what I mean? And guaranteed to never have, but it's never satisfying. You know, because it's just, you know, guys, don't do the fucking Tinder gross thing. I have friends that do that gross shit. It's a fucking sewer. You know what I mean? Don't do it. You know, I don't agree with the debt forgiveness thing, but I feel bad for the people who were tricked. Sorry, y'all. No, I mean, dude, I get it, man. We can have differing opinions, but like, again, at what point in time is there an investment? Because we're giving so much foreign aid away. I mean, America is the most charitable nation on the planet Earth. Why can't some of that charity go to our own people as opposed to going over to countries? So I get that, but where do we draw the lines on socialism? That's why this is like a fun mental exercise for me. You know what I mean? This is like definitely a fun mental exercise yourself with me. Empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Sympathy is acting on that feeling. Empathy is okay. Sympathy is not in certain situations. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And it is sympathetic to do debt forgiveness. It is. But I guess maybe it's strictly anecdotal evidence, but I feel for guys that aren't in a situation, that have that want, that have that need, to be able to have a family and a home and shit like that. And they're just living in despair. I mean, America first, dude. And like, I get, whatever that means, are you really America first? You know what I mean? If you're not willing to invest in your own people like that, I get it. Here's where I'm not good with. I'm not good with free college. You know what I mean? And that's the shitty thing about the American political system that we have nowadays. It's like, you have to be one or the other. It's like, you can't be for debt forgiveness and not for free college, because there's nobody out there that's doing that. Everybody that's promoting debt forgiveness is a fucking complete and utter tool bag. Yeah. America first. You know what I mean? America first. Faith, there is something to be said for faith, family, country, core. Faith, family, country, core first. And if something that's going on, and those are the most important things: faith, family, country, core. And I'm coming around to Christianity too. I mean, I was raised Christian. I was raised in a Christian household. I went to Catholic school, but I was like more of a servitude thing than anything else. You know what I mean? But as an adult coming back to it, you understand when you start to really try to wrap your head, because you'll never fully wrap your head around it. But once you start really, getting to the point where you're wrapping your head around real huge issues. Also, all this is coming out of quitting pornography does not hurt. You know what I mean? Listen, if you just say to yourself, I'm not going to watch anything like that in any form. Like, I don't even watch a movie. Like, if somebody's like, oh yeah, watch this movie, there's tits in the movie. Like, if I see tits on a movie nowadays, I'm always like, man, that shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all for art, but for gross sake, for gratuity's sake, it's like, it's like real low hanging fruit, Your opportunity to choose between foreign aid and school loan forgiveness. I choose loan forgiveness. Yeah. I mean, I've never really been for the whole giving money to countries that really don't care for us that much or really want our help to begin with. Got 5 people watching. I haven't watched porn or smoked pot in a long time, staying strong. Good on you, bro. Good on you, dude. And that's the thing. And I know that I said in an earlier stream that I'm about to light up a cigarette. It's a struggle. I really don't want to smoke cigarettes. Like, smoking cigarettes is not cool. It's not a good thing. It is it directly affects your pocketbooks. First of all, it directly affects your health. It makes you a slave to a really uncool master. And it's not like being an alpha. It's definitely like being a slave to a really uncool master. I'm really sorry that you guys can't see my face, but the fire's getting ready to crank back up again. And hopefully we will be able to see what's going on. I'm definitely not in Detroit, and I'm not in an undisclosed bunker somewhere. I don't smoke weed anymore. I don't smoke any less either. Zing. Hilarious, Inspector. I want to get my guitar back, and we need to start doing some guitar playing again. I was thinking about it today and I miss it. Oh, so this house. Yeah, I go out there today and I realized I got it over my head. And I really do apologize for stepping on stepping on Semper Bear's stream, but I do want to say that he gets it when it comes to building something. Like I remember he was building that thing. He was building the treehouse for his little girl, and I was like, he did something all messed up. He had to run back. He got the wrong shit, and then he had to run back to Lowe's, and then he was running back, and he broke his window or something like that in his car. And I was like, hey, man, that's what it is. We do it right because we do it twice. You know, when you're a homeowner, you'll find out you're going to do shit right because you do it twice, 3 times, possibly. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not handy. I don't claim to be the handiest guy on the face of the earth, but all it takes is a little bit of elbow grease and some YouTube. I mean, for real, you would be blown away. The things that you can find out on YouTube, like fight with a lawnmower for a couple of hours and then, let your ego take over a little bit. And you're like, I'm figuring this out for myself. I'm not getting on some YouTube thing and being like doing that. This is me when I first got my house. And then I was like, after I fucked up my lawnmower 14 times from Sunday, I was like, okay, I'm going to get on YouTube and figure it out. Now I can, rebuild it. You know what I mean? Gumption plus YouTube. Yeah. If you don't know it, you got to take a source of information where you can find it, Oh, and brother, I don't know if you're still, brother's still here. Dude, I never realized the guy from the Twilight Zone is so logos. It's not even close to a joke. It's not even close to funny. Who's the guy? What was his name? Does anybody know who's the grow your own tobacco? Hey, I was at my new place today and I was sizing up the backyard. It's little. And I really want to do it. I really want to do something where I'm able to not show the entire process of what I'm trying to do out there, but I hope that I can, God willing, I'm going to be able to do little things and potentially post little videos of like, hey, this is how you do this. You know what I mean? These are the mistakes that I made. Don't be afraid to get in there, get your hands dirty, make mistakes. And, maybe hopefully inspire some of you guys to like buy houses and do shit like that, buy your own house in your own name. It's very important. You hear me, Andrew Kelly? I can help you design your layout for maximum light and space saving techniques. Yeah, absolutely. By the time that you come down and swing through to pick me up, I should be in the new place. And I'm going to be doing I'm going to be focusing this year mostly on elbow grease and outside, landscaping and cleaning up of the outside because the outside needs a little bit of TLC. I have all winter. It's a very nice winter situation for me to sit inside and learn how to do hardwood floors and kitchens and shit. But I definitely have no idea what it comes to doing. I want to do a nice, so I saw these really cool basalt fountains, and I want to do a real nice basalt fountain with a rock garden in the back and with a nice Virgin Mary statue in there. It's going to be nice. Troy is the man to ask about flooring. I don't know if I know Troy. Do I know Troy? Mechanical bull? No, I don't think there's going to be a mechanical bull, but I was, you guys know my background that I have is the Boulder Bear's in the house. What's up, Boulder? Boulder Bear is the man. Yeah. I'll have Boulder Bear out for some ice fishing and some, have some ball. Yeah, we'll bring him out, do some ice fishing, do some beer drinking, and do some construction. It'll be sweet. Boulder Bear said he was going to be in here. I haven't seen him. Has anybody heard from him? Yeah, I definitely think fountain equals logos, man. It's definitely like running water is good. Having water near you is definitely a good thing, and it's a good conductor. It's I believe in, vibrate. It reacts to vibration well, and it can calm you down, and it has a good vibration in it. I don't know if any of that's true, but you have 4 fountains, Iron. That's great. It's awesome. And that's the thing too. Having enough I've been thinking about it, and I like what my buddy Rob Appleby. I call him Bob, but it seems to be a lot of people call him Rob or Robert. But he makes knives. He's a fantastic knife maker, and he's wasted not. I'll say that he's wasted time, but he won't say that he's wasted time on trying to teach me some stuff and help me out along the way when I'm learning blacksmithing. And hopefully I'm going to be able to spend my winters slapping steel, making knives, and doing cool stuff in my house, building, making cool stuff. Duck pond with a fountain. Are you asking me if I'm going to do a duck pond? Are you suggesting a duck pond? I don't want anything to do with the duck pond. And if you were ever at the new place, you'd understand why. There's a big giant lake in the background. And that's the thing is, like, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just really, really excited and really, really happy. And it's one thing that I've noticed. I'm drinking tonight, by the way, Lagunitas Super Cluster. I'm off tomorrow. I got to get up at about 6:30, which is a real late start for me. And so I get to sleep in tomorrow. I'm going out to the new house to get inspected, and I'm gonna have to get the well actually done by a professional, which is not great. It's not ideal for me. Farming salmon, thoughts? It seems like a lot. It definitely seems like a lot of stuff. I want to do spices. That's really what I want to do. I want to do a couple cool spice gardens, and I want to do a lot of metal art in the yard. Like I was down at this place, and they have a big archway, and it's all steel chairs welded together. I didn't want to do the chairs, but I definitely like the idea of like repurposing old steel and making it into like a really cool archway that goes into like a garden and a walkway. I don't want to mow a lot. There's not a lot to mow, but I don't want to mow a lot. Come correct, farming anything for personal consumption is a great idea. Yeah, you just have to base everything in the realm of reality. Farming salmon is a giant operation. Farming spices is like doable for my schedule. So, but if you want to farm salmon, hey, I'll trade you spices for salmon. Straight up. Build wind turbine blades with your metal crafting. Huge market if they're balanced. Yeah, absolutely. I want to do, I like knives. I like neoprimal metalsmithing, where it's just knives, or anything that you're doing. If you ever want to look at something really cool, some really cool art, check out the 150 millimeter challenge. It's a contest at this, it's called the Ferris Festival in England. They do blacksmithing, and all these guys are given a 150 millimeter piece of square stock, and whatever you can come up with from that 150 millimeter square stock, and they judge it and have like an art competition. It is really cool. You can hook up a windmill to an alternator for a Chevy truck and some batteries. All right. All right. That's something, that's a jumping off point, windmill. I don't want to do the windmill, guys. I don't want to do the windmill thing. I definitely would be interested in doing, what are those things called? Solar panels. I definitely would be interested in solar panels, because there's a reason why they don't want you to have solar panels, because it makes you independent. Wind farmer sounds like a bad fart joke. Hey, listen, we hit the thumbs up, hit the like, comment, send me an email, Mike Bison and the Inspector. Let me know what's going on, because I feel like this could be the secret speakeasy of some cool bears. We don't have to have a big giant channel for this. This is like cool stuff. Gonna make a water wheel with it. Solar panels, 100%. After a while, you put energy into the grid and the electric company has to pay you. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. And if you can, I want to be able to do coal and a wood burner stove in the upstairs because I love that. I love that style of heat. You know what I mean? And coal is relatively easy to get around here. Good, hard anthracite coal is really relatively easy to get. But I could also do wood in it. Wood would be an undertaking, but it would definitely be a possibility to heat my house if for whatever reason power went out. Power can go out for a bazillion reasons. It doesn't necessarily have to be the boogaloo. You know what I mean? It could just be, it could just be anything could happen. False. They charge you $47 a month. I have a backtrack meter on the grid. Oh, iron. Are we starting a thing? Because I really want to know what's going on here with these solar panels. You need 30 panels to turn a profit. Ooh, that's a lot of panels, bro. Do you have to tell them about your panels? Or, could you just have your panels off the grid panels? Boom, 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 boom. Just get a bunch of panels, then snip the wire. Yeah, man. Don't even, here's another way that you could just avoid school debt. And I like where you're coming from. I like where your head's at, Andrew. You need to, if you want to get an education and you don't want to get into school debt, just go to class. They don't even know. They probably won't even know that you're there. And then just be like, yeah, I'm here. I know everything. I'll take all the tests right now. 30 breaks even, 40 makes money. 40 is a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. It's like I'm going to school now. So what else is going on? It's a bad day to be a gamma male, boy. Let me tell you what. I found out some stuff, and I don't give out a lot of information. You guys know that, but just trust me whenever I tell you that it's bad to be a gamma male today. Today was a good day to be today was a good guy. Today was a good day to be a good guy. Because I'll tell you what, man, being a gamma male, especially when they gang up, they will come after you, man. They will. And here's the thing, the more that you, how can I say this? The more that you stick to the plan and the more that you open your heart to Christ and to the Logos, you know what I mean? You will start to see things happen in your life for the good. And when you start to see things happen for the good, understand that when because evil likes you being down. Like, think of evil like a tick. Like a tick gives you Lyme disease, right? You don't die from Lyme disease. Trust me, I know. You do not die from Lyme disease. Lyme disease makes you stop moving and lets other ticks be able to feed off of you. You know what I mean? So don't think that, where was I even going with that? Oh, be it a gamma male. Whenever you're doing good things and you start to follow the plan and you start to accept Christ in your heart and you start to accept the Logos that surrounds you, and the logical nature of everything, bad will come and attack you, and it will try to drag you down, and it will try to subvert every good thing that you're doing, and it will hurt. It will definitely hurt. It depends on how deep you were. Moderate cloud cover doesn't block all UV. You can still get 20% power from a gloomy day. I like that. I definitely like, and that's the thing too. It's everything in life is so fractal. Everything in life is so, if you believe, have faith that there is a plan for you. There is a plan. I had a conversation with my buddy about this, and he's new to Christianity. And I'm actually taking him with me to my church on Sunday. And it's going to be good for him because it's like, the pastor is a cool dude, and he's really into like speaking directly towards males, And not in a way where it's like his wife gets up there and speaks. Like, it was really cool. Like, the last time I was able to go, because I work on Sunday mornings most of the time. The last time I was able to go, like, his wife got up there, and she's a professor at a university, and she was like, these people, these kids graduated, and this is what they're gonna do. And she was like all proud of them. You know what I mean? Lyme disease is man-made, not God-made, by the way. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, but like I said, the evil comes after you. You know, the evil comes after you. And one of the good things, like, I was driving out into my new neighborhood today, and I'm really fired up about being part of this community, because there is a ton of people. That there was like a ton of signs. First of all, there was a bunch of "Don't Tread on Me" flags everywhere, and there was like there are handmade signs. You know, an area is cool whenever there's like handmade signs, and they have Bible passages and stuff like that on it. Like, I was like driving through, and I was like, I'm going to fit into this community very, very well. You know, it seems like a lot of good people. There's a hardware store right downtown that has everything that you'll ever need. I don't have to give my money to Lowe's. I can shop local, because there is going to be a lot of supplies bought. Hopefully, I can get the good supplies from this place. Give me 2 seconds while I try to shake this fire hose. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll go from that. I'll go with that for right now. Sorry, guys, on the audio, on the visual. Sounds like MAGA country to me. Yeah, dude, there was a stop sign with a Trump 2020 sticker on it. I was like, yep. Yeah, but dude, the evil will come for you, man. Evil will come for you. Trust me when I tell you. And it could be short, could be long. It's usually, it's usually in the interim. Like Big Drum, when me and my brother and Big Drum were talking about evil that comes into your body, right? You can check that out on Dirty Mike and the Boy podcast. I can't remember which one it was. The one we did with Big Drum, who is cool, and I cannot wait till he gets back from Not Detroit, because I like talking to him. He's a very smart guy, and I think he can answer, because we're all just looking for answers, right? Evil equals Trump. I'm just kidding. I mean, listen, he's the first president that I've ever seen that doesn't. He's de-escalated war. He's the first president that I've ever been able to vote for that didn't escalate war. So, but no one's perfect. No, Trump isn't perfect. And that's the thing, is like, everyone's, Trump's going to get us into war. He's going to call the leader of North Korea a douchebag, which he did. He's going to fucking piss off everybody and blah, blah, blah. And he did. And I'm glad he did. You know what I mean? That was, whatever. I'm not going to get in on Trump, Jag. It is what it is. Inspector, if you see both, that means the divorce isn't yet finalized. Ha ha ha. No, I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah. Guys, I'm about 48 minutes into it. 49 minutes right now. Send off for a true American hero. Yeah, that was a fun one. I can't wait to do that with him again. He was like drinking, and then like afterwards we were talking to him, and he was like, man, I got into stuff that I didn't even think I was going to get into. And I was like, that's how the Dirty Mike and the Boy podcast goes, man. You sometimes we can be talking about the Big Bang and all of existence, and then sometimes we can be talking about fucking sandwiches, man. It just is what it is. We just let it go. We just kind of let it go. Hit the Rogans up. Yeah, again, man, it's cool. Like, hit the Rogans up, and but this is like a cool bear hangout. This is like a cool bear hangout. I don't really care if this channel gets huge. I don't care if this channel goes insane. This channel can just be cool people. I don't know. comment was in regards to $20. $20 says you won't see a "Don't Tread on Me" flag and a Hillary sign in the same yard. Yeah, not out here. I'll tell you that. There's a good diner. It was good. This is definitely Trump country. You know what I mean? It just seems like a good community too. There was once I realized, like, I went into this church, man, and it was an energy that I haven't felt in the church in a long time. It was kids fucking running around everywhere. There's a band playing. There's, people are shaking hands. I wore flip-flops. That was like flip-flops, jeans, and a t-shirt is perfectly fine. And you get a coffee and you sit down and the pastor comes over and I know him, and he locked me up and was like, he locked me up in a big hug and was like, "Joe, I'm so glad that there's guys like you that are coming, blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "I'm not special, dude." Like, I realize that's a thing today. Oh, so I wanted to talk a little bit, and this is how I'm going to end it. I'm going to spend 9 minutes talking about this, and then we will open it up to any comments, questions, concerns, and complaints, and then we will end this and call it a day. The duality of man. All right. So here's the duality that man is faced with on this existence that we have. Because as we all know, the line of good and evil runs down the middle of every man's heart. And if you think of the world as being 50.9% good and 50.9 and 49.9% evil, then the actions of the individual are extremely important. The good that we do in the world is the only thing that we have, right? It's like it's our charge to do good in this world. But at the same time, we're nothing but a raindrop in a river. We're sand on a beach, for real. So even though that we're, as individuals, minuscule in the plan, and we're simply players on the field, the actions that we do, the smallest little actions that we do, mean the world. You can change someone's life through a real small action, and maybe it's something as small as holding them accountable for their actions, right? Iron, you're hilarious. Oh, people driving by. Someone's driving by my house. It's weird. My house is like a unique place because people drive by at all hours, but they drive by extremely slow. I don't know what that's all about. Usually with lights on. It's weird. Whatever. Kids come up here and drink and drive and go do stupid shit. The duality of man. Because we're nothing, for real, but we're everything at the same time. Very weird stuff. Very weird stuff. Oh. God knows your heart. Jesus knows your heart. Whenever you think about any bad things that you might have done in your life, remember, God knows your heart. My mother told me that. She's always told me that because I've had crisis of conscience. We all do, where you say to yourself, "What did I do? What? I can't believe it. There's no way that I'm a good person after that." God knows your heart. And you have to understand that no matter what, because even though you have free will, you're in his hand. And that's the fucking duality of existence, man. It's just so fucking crazy. It's impossible to wrap your head around it all. Well, you guys, I love yous. I think you're good guys. Would have never talked like this a year ago. Brings me a lot of joy to hear him talk like this. It's true, man. It's true. I went through I've gone through some hard not really transitions, but just turmoil, man. And we all do. We've all gone through trauma in our lives. Gotta forgot your heart. He won't impose upon you. Yeah. You know, that's the thing. I was talking to my buddy and he was saying, what are you just saying that we're just robots here to, God, I said that God has a plan. And, he said, God has a plan. And he said, does that mean, we're just robots here and God's, has us on control? Because I don't believe that. And, people are supposed to be accountable for their actions. And he was missing the point. And it's okay. You know what I mean? I don't fault him for it. He's coming, he's learning, you know what I mean? And he's not been exposed to the same kind of like thought exercises that some of us have, Plans change. Fuck your plans. Fuck your plans. Your plan does not mean shit to anybody. Don't make plans, strive for goals. You know what I mean? That's not a saying, don't work hard, but fuck your plan. Your plan does not mean anything. It doesn't mean shit. Once you start accepting the good in your life, that's it. Yeah, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. Yeah, how about it? Guys, I'm so open to whatever happens at this point in my life that nothing that I could be told, nothing would change my opinion. No adversity that came upon me right now, because right now I have a lot of things going on. And again, I don't divulge a whole lot of information. Yeah, I mean, but I have a lot of shit going on. I'm not going to get distracted. I have a lot of shit going on in my life, and we all do. But things are starting to get on the upstroke. Things are starting to get on the upside. Having a plan can set you up for disappointment. Yeah. Don't not plan though. Just make sure that there's logos in your plan. You know what I mean? Because if there's not logic in your plan and there's no creation behind it, and come correct, I know you get it. If there's not good in your plan, then the good things that are supposed to happen to you won't happen to you, because there's no logic in your plan. If you don't have any logic, if you don't have any reason, then you are just spinning your wheels. You're fucking trapped in mud. No, it's definitely not a race. It's definitely not a race. We are all going to get there in time. And that's the thing too. It's like somebody said, when people say to you something along the lines of, there's bad things in the world, how can that be if there's a God? It's not a race. It's not a race. It's definitely not a race. It doesn't matter where you start and where you end. It matters how you live. And we all have the opportunity to live in the kingdom of heaven. We all do. It's not an overnight thing. It's not it's not something you can quantify. It's not us to know. We try to wrap our heads around it, but we never will. It's not ours to know. Don't matter what you look like. Don't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter what you're wrapped in at all. It doesn't matter what you're wrapped in at all, brother. It just means all it matters is what you do. So I recently went to a funeral for a man who was 44 years old. He died of a massive heart attack. This is 2 days ago. And he had a massive heart attack, and he was a firefighter. Every fire department on this side of the river, and when I say that, that means a lot. Every fire department on this side of the river came out and had a giant showing, There was two giant ladder trucks with an American flag draped over. His family was there. There was, as soon as it opened, there was a line out the door. I was stood in that line. And when I got to his casket, I took my hat off and I said, a little prayer. I said, please, watch over, Eric's family, watch over Eric and watch over, I know you have Eric, watch over his family, give them strength through these hard times and on and beyond. And then, I said my piece, and then I went down the line, and I never met his wife or anything like that before, or his kids or anything, but it makes you realize whenever you see all those people out there, and you see all the photos, him and his son had a woodworking business. You see the photos of him and his son. You see all the firefighters, all the police officers, all the EMTs, corrections officers, just everybody in the community came out and to be around this guy's, to be at this guy's funeral. And what are the two dates that are on your tombstone? The two dates that are on your tombstone are the day that you're born and the day that you die. And then there's a dash in between. And that dash is the biggest part that you have. Right now, we're all in our dash, and I know that sounds corny and it sounds platitude and it sounds cliche, but it's true. Being a great man, being a great woman isn't being a shithead all your life and then being great for 2 seconds at the end. Being great means living a life of the mad dash. Being a great person means that you live a life of great works, and great comes in all sizes and packages. Hey, Saucin, I know you're late. Won't ask what I missed. We'll rewatch from the beginning. God bless. Thank you very much, Saucin. I appreciate it. Yeah, you couldn't have possibly joined at a worse time because I'm getting ready to end this thing. But, hey, you guys have a good night. I'm going to sit out here by this fire and think about the duality of man. Keep doing your thing. Keep finding the good. Keep rocking and rolling, and much love.